Hey everyone, it's Colin from Ireland'sTechnologyBlog.com, and this is a review of the Huawei Mate S, which has just gone on sale with 3 Ireland just kind of later last month in March. So for at least for now, you're going to get a very premium retail box with premium headphones. You're going to get a smart cover and some other things as well. So on prepay anyway, it's going to be €459, or from free if you're on bill pay, or if that's what you're going to go for. So really quickly, we'll just get straight into it. So you can see the phone there, so we're just going to set that aside for the moment and take you through what is actually in the package. So you get these premium kind of headphones. I'm not even going to attempt to take them out because I'm just not going to be able to get it back in the box the same way. You get your USB charging cable. Oddly enough, the continental version of the plug, so perhaps the one you get in the 3 store will actually be the Irish one. And then in here you get the little box with the package. You got your SIM tray key, and you will also get a smart cover which looks like this. So as you open and close it, the device will know what to display here. You get a kind of a nice starry sky image and your date and your time and weather, and when you open it, the phone knows the case has been opened and it'll automatically come on. So quite a nice retail package, but not too many people are overly concerned with that. So we'll get on to the main phone itself. So this is it. It's a 5.5 inch display. It's 1080p, 401 ppi pixel density. It's got Gorilla Glass 4, 3D touch, sensitive touch. You can do knuckle gestures and stuff like that. We'll get to that in a minute. And it's got the Huawei their own processor called the Kirin 935, and it's a quad-core processor with a Mali T628 MP4 GPU. So it's quite quick. Comes with 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, and you can add a SD card up to 128 gigabytes. So that's great to see, and it just means you're not ever really going to run out of memory. In terms of the cameras, you've got a 13 megapixel on the back with an f2.0 aperture, and it's got OIS built in, which means that, you know, even if you're a little bit shaky as you're taking your pictures, the optical image stabilization will actually straighten that out for you. So that's good. And not many phones have it these days, but it's slowly starting to creep in. On the front, you've got an 8 megapixel camera. It's an f2.4 sensor on that. So you know it's quite good, and it's got different beauty modes and stuff like that. So you know if you're into taking the selfies, it's going to do you good. 3 gigabytes of RAM on board, which is nice to see. With most smartphones these days, you're going to get 4 at most, generally speaking, for the EU market, but 3 is more than capable. In terms of the design, it's quite iPhone-esque looking. This is kind of a champagne silver, let's say. It's not quite gold, it's not quite fully silver. It is all metal. Got little cutouts here for antennas. Nice keys on the side, volume rockers, power key, fingerprint sensor on the back, which is really good. It's similar to the one that's in the Nexus 6P. In fact, I think it's actually the same one. You don't have to activate the screen in order to use the sensor. You just put your finger on it and it'll come on. So that's really nice. Headphone jack, mics. Down the bottom you've got dual firing speakers, and these are very good actually, as it turns out. Not opted for a USB Type-C, but rather a regular micro USB, which is probably going to suit most people because USB Type-C cables are still a bit of a pain, and if you have battery packs throughout the course of your mobile life. They're not going to fit USB Type C's, but that's fine. Inside, it's powered by a 2,700 milliamp battery, a little bit low for what I like, and generally speaking, I was getting to from about 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with my normal usage, and at 4 p.m. I'm kind of getting down to about 18% battery left. So if you're a light user, you probably will make it to the to maybe 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock before you might need to start plugging it in. But for me, as a power user, it's a little bit low. But very, very good. So in terms of the operating system, so this is Huawei's own take on Android. It's called EMUI, and this is basically a skin over things. So let me just kill all that so we don't get interrupted now. Okay. So basically, it doesn't come like this out of the box. This is all nice and neat, and this was the product of about an hour and a half of installing apps, making folders, and just making it look neat with a lot of Chinese, Asian OEMs. You're gonna get no app tray, so just everything installs onto the screen. That's fine. Some people love it, some people hate it. I don't particularly like it. But once you put a little bit of effort into it, you can see I have junk 1, junk 2. They're just containing apps that I'm not really going to use. So you can get it nice. It is running Lollipop 5.1.1. So Huawei have skinned it again up here in the notifications area. They've made it look nice, and it does look nice. The timeline, you'll see your notifications come in here, and you get a kind of a timeline of when they arrived. So it is kind of nice, but I think I still prefer stock Android to that. And really, we know Huawei can make good stock Android devices because they've made the Nexus 6P, and that's that's a much nicer experience in terms of the OS. There are little things that just are not overly happy with this. You can see here in the icons, you've got you shouldn't have the little blue edging around the messenger icon, for example. It should just be the icon as it is, and that's something we're going to have to work on to make things a little bit more cohesive. All in all, though, very nice device. For $459, it's a little expensive for my liking, but it's certainly a very good option for somebody who wants to maybe get away from iPhones but doesn't want to lose the premium look of an all metal device. There are some nice features built in. I mean, you can do this knuckle gestures. So you can do that for various things. You have to set these up, but basically you can use your knuckle to draw, and it's a bit of a gimmick, but it does work. You can set it to turn on the flashlight or turn on the camera, so it might appeal to some people. I'm a big fan of Huawei devices in general. I just wish they would move away from their skinned version of the OS. But some people will obviously love that. So this is the Huawei Mate S, and it's available now on 3 Ireland. So go out and buy it. Stay tuned to IrelandsTechnologyBlog.com for all the latest news, reviews from Ireland and around the world.